Hello friends, long time no vlog. Hopefully there shouldn't be too much of a disruption for you vlogging wise, but for me it's been a while. My allergies got crazy, and then there was a wedding. My brother-in-law got married, yay. And then I was sick, and then I was sick again, and now we're here. So feeling a lot better over all that yuckiness, washing my hands a lot. But I am actually, as you can see in Renegade, my car here, it's Monday afternoon, and this is not where I planned to be, but I'm outside the nail place because I just got my nails done last week, and I just smashed my finger like during dismissal on the door. And so I'm gonna go see if they will fix that one because it's really bad, and I like just got them done, so they were like perfect. So that's the plan, and then I'm gonna go home. I do have choir tonight. I was hoping we were not gonna have choir tonight because we just had a concert on Thursday. Fox sent an email and was like, let's have a postmortem and let's talk and figure out a date for the next concert and do a little bit of singing. So I'm hoping it'll be short. I love choir, but I was really excited about the prospect of not having it for one day. You know, when you like think you have something and then you don't have to do it, it just, you know, feels like it's like a gift. It's like a day off. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get my nail fixed, and then I'm gonna go home and figure out what we're gonna do this afternoon. Not much, because I realized I really cannot get much done in that amount of time, and even less, because it's gonna be less. So let me stop talking to you and I will go inside. I don't really have anything specifically planned for this video. I do have a lot of products that I've been working on to try to get posted. Maybe we'll talk about like updates and data a little bit. Maybe we can make that happen. Well, no promises. Let's see. All right, we are home. Nail is fixed. They got it done pretty quickly and didn't charge me for it, which was super nice. Got home to a package. I'll have, I think, a few packages maybe coming in this video. We'll see. I'm not sure when everything's getting here. Two very exciting things came from Amazon. I got this, which looks like nothing, that I'm now throwing all over the place. But it's a green skirt because, one, I've been wearing a lot of green. Two, green is my school color. Three, St. Patrick's Day. I was like, I need a green skirt. Now at Valentine's Day, I got a like heart skirt. I didn't go that crazy, like I didn't get a shamrock skirt, so I just went with like a green. But it's pretty cute. It's nice, like high-waisted. Should have pockets. Yes, I have this in yellow, so I already knew that I liked it, and I wanted like a bright Kelly green. So that's gonna be real cute for, I mean, I bought it for St. Patrick's Day, but I will wear that pretty much all the time, especially, you know, March, April, springy time. It's my school color, so I'll wear that. Christmas, all that. And then the other thing that came actually in the same box is my peanut butter powder. Because why would we not ship those together? You know, that's what's great about Amazon. Like, where else can you get peanut powder and green skirts for St. Patrick's Day? Nowhere. So I am home now. It's like 6:15, so I am just going to heat up some food and fix the video and see if I can get it posted. And then if I finish that, I will be reading a bit because I'm still working on Sense and Sensibility. So that is the plan for today. Go to choir, come home, and then we'll just see where the night takes us. Maybe we'll read some more. Maybe I'll go take a bath and read in the bathtub. Probably won't get any actual work done other than getting this video uploaded, but it is what it is. It's really frustrating to me to like not get a lot of things done on Mondays because I like to hit Monday with like doing all the things. But I have just come to realize it's just not in the cards for me. So, you know, follow your ideal week and just, it's okay. It's okay. So there we go. This weekend was really good. We got so much done around the house. We took down all the like wintry stuff, like decor. Like we had those trees next to the TV still, so we took all those things down. We went and bought a bunch of like flowers and some spring decor because we realized we had like barely anything, so that was nice. But like cleaned a lot of stuff, organized some stuff, organized the closet, put up some shelves in the closet, which is like making the biggest difference in the world. So it was like a very productive weekend, which was super, super, super nice. It was also pretty chill. Like, it wasn't super crazy productive, but it was like really productive and also pretty chill. So let me feed the dogs, let me feed myself, and then I will get, oh, I did want to show you this dress though, because I am obsessed with it. If you have seen, I have like a blue pattern maxi dress. It has alligators on it. This is the same one, but it's navy. I wear that one all the time. So when I saw that they came out with it in like a solid navy, I was like, that is gonna be absolutely wonderful. And it is. I've had it for a week and I've already worn it twice. It is like sleeveless, and it's just like nice and loose, but it has the fun button detail, and it's just so comfy, and it's just so great. I'm just so happy to have it. So now I have it in navy, and then also in like a fun, cute pattern, but the navy is a little less in your face, so you can wear it more often. People don't notice, right? Right. I will link this dress down below. I don't think anything else is available. Maybe my shoes. We'll see. You should see Tolly though. Oh, we matched today. Tolly, come here. We matched. Look. With your bandana. Look, you got like navy and like burgundy. Yes. We're so cute. You don't have a bandana. Don't throw your ball at me. That's rude. She literally just picked it up and like slung it at me. Okay, food. Let's do this. Happy Hat Day. Hat Day is one of my favorite days of the year. Second to Friday, which is going to be Pajama Day. And thank you to our media specialist for giving us a pajama day, because normally I feel like we usually get one, you know, at like Christmas time. We don't usually get a pajama day in the spring, so I am very excited about that. I had some really interesting comments today about my outfit. I was told that I look like I'm going to the beach. But my favorite one was that my 5th graders said, you know, your room's like jungle themed, and your hat kind of makes you look like you're in the jungle too. Or maybe you're like on safari, or maybe you're like a park ranger at like Jurassic Park. I was like, yes, this is what I'm wearing to be a park ranger at Jurassic Park. Sounds like a great plan. Yesterday I went to choir. We did get out a bit early, came home, took a bath, and read a book and finished this book. This one is The Diary of a CEO. It goes through a bunch of different laws of business. I would say the majority of them are very like mindset based, and like philosophies, but it was very interesting. As you can see, I tabbed a bunch of things. I've been like researching annotating books, which like I write all up in my Bible, and like in textbooks I used to write quite a bit in them, but I don't do that with like normal books. So I'm dipping my toes in the water with the sticky notes. So my idea was that I can go through now, and maybe I'll do this today. I can go through and I can like check out each of the sticky notes, and I can use that kind of as my summary. And I was gonna like type something up in Evernote about it, but really interesting. Has a lot of really good perspective, has a lot of really interesting things, as you can see. Not all of it was super pertinent to me at my current moment. Like there was a lot about hiring and stuff that I don't really need at the moment. I will say I felt like a lot of them, the laws are too short. Like each chapter was a little bit too short. There's 32 chapters, essentially 32 laws. So a lot of them, like I would get to the end and I'm like, I feel like we needed more explanation of that. I feel like it wasn't like super in depth. I also especially felt that way at the beginning, so I don't know if I got used to that writing style or if it got more elaborate towards the end, but especially the beginning I'd be like, that was it. Like you could have written a whole book on just that concept, and instead we had like a couple pages. But overall it was pretty good, and there are, you know, different tastes. Someone actually just commented on one of my videos the other day talking about how I need to make my videos shorter And it was not the hour-long vlog, which I do apologize for that. It was like one of the videos on the main channel. They were like, you're just way too wordy and talk way too much. And I was like, you can click out. Like, you don't have to watch it. It was like, you lost me at minute 8. I'm like, okay, great, bye. Like, it's, yeah. You know, videos are gonna be like, my high school physics teacher used to say it when we would do essays. She'd say it needs to be long enough to cover everything, short enough to keep it interesting. So maybe they didn't think it was quite short enough, but it's gotta be long enough to cover everything, you know? Like, you have to do that. And specifically, especially with more, there are some videos that I intentionally make very quick, very snappy, as short as I can, because that's kind of the style, and especially if they're going towards like newer people. But if it's a video that's more like, my audience has already been around, like they're familiar, then they tend to be more casual, more chatty, and a little bit longer. And personally, I hate when a video is not long enough. So there we are. Anyway, would definitely recommend. I will probably do a video about this one and some of the laws that I found most interesting. One that really stuck out to me this week, though, towards the end, was a little bit morbid, but he goes through and gives how many hours the typical person has in their life. And then he was like, you know, subtracted out, well, you know, if you're this age, then you've already had this many hours gone and you're gonna sleep for this many hours. And it was very eye-opening. Not necessarily in like the morbid way, but more in kind of the like, let me stop and reflect and make sure that what I'm doing with my time is actually what I want to be doing with my time, which was kind of already on my mind because I just went to a funeral for a lady at my church who was 93. So like, she had quite a bit of time. But you know, I went to her funeral, and so I've been thinking a lot about legacy, because she left an amazing legacy. Like, she was such a wonderful woman. And then one of the really big like music ed people passed away last week also, and like completely shocked all of us. Like, nobody knew it was coming. She wasn't that old, and she was just at GMEA like a few weeks ago doing like a bunch of sessions. I was like, man, she's doing so many sessions, and I missed it, and I was so sad, and I was like, I'll catch her next time. And I'm like, oh, there we go. So I was already kind of thinking about that. So this, like, reading that and like seeing in black and white, like, you have this many out, you know, hypothetically you could die at any point, so who knows. Which is really interesting. Again, not in like a morbid way, but more in like a, let me make sure that I'm making my hours count. If I only have so many, I need to make sure that I'm gonna be using them in a way that would be good. And so just not wasting time on things that are not moving me forward in the way I want to, not wasting time and other things, like really trying to get priorities in perspective of like what's most important. So actually this morning, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I journal in the morning. And that was what I was like journaling about this morning, was just like, what are the things I want to make sure that I'm spending my time on? Like, what are the things that I care about? And a lot of it for me at this point at least is like legacy and just like how many people I can help. So that was the thing I kept coming back to, was like, you know, I need to get this information out. Like, I need to help people. I need to get important things. I mean, you know, this isn't like the most important thing ever, this video. Hopefully you know, enjoy it. But more, you know, like, I'm in the business of helping teachers, and so like I need to get the information out so that they can help them, you know, like just like having that little bit of pressure behind it. And so that was his whole point, was like, you know, just make sure your priorities are in check and you're, you know, doing things like you like to. So anyway, here we are, Tuesday afternoon. I had a whole plan for this afternoon, and it all went out the window. I was gonna take a walk, but it's raining. I was gonna wash my hair, but husband actually didn't feel well and came home early, which he never ever does. So he came home and like got straight in the bathtub. So I'm gonna wash my hair tomorrow. So I don't really know. I do know that I need to do some like data figuring out, like looking through my data and looking at some different things, and then probably do some work on some products that I've been working on, and maybe get some spring stuff out. It's my tentative plan, so I don't know. Let's go do things that are important. And that doesn't mean like you have to work all the time. It just means like is watching TV the best use of my time? Is scrolling on Instagram the best use of my time? Stop. Hey, did somebody say chocolate? I wish, because I could really go for some chocolate right now. What I really want is like half a dozen of those chocolate chip cookies from Chick-fil-A. They're so good. They're like chunky and they have like oatmeal in them and they're so good. And then like a chicken sandwich. I could really go for that. Unfortunately, that a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and half a dozen Chick-fil-A cookies is not on the list for foods we're to eat for the week. So that's not happening. But yeah, I chilled out for a little bit, played piano. I actually did have a little snack, but I have some data to go over, so I'm gonna at least start this. I might end up doing most of it on the couch, but I wanted to kind of show you what I'm looking for. So a couple of things. Oh, we need a bullet journal. Please hold. Okay, so a couple of things that I am looking at specifically today for data. I need to go through and put in all the money I've made from all the different platforms, all 8,000 of them. And so I like to track those. I didn't do it for January or February, so I need to do both months. So I'll just go through each one and find, okay, how much did I make on TBT? How much did I make on Etsy? How much did I make, you know, on all the different places? Most of them are not much. TBT is really where I make the bulk of my money. Teachable kind of goes in and out. That's where my like course platform is. So some months do really well and some months don't. Usually it's whenever, you know, I have like a promotion for something, tends to do better. And then my Breakfast Bible Room Etsy does consistently pretty decent. It's always like a couple $100. But so I'm gonna go through there and then I'm gonna look at some products and figure out what are my best sellers from this time last year so that I know what to promote. I also use that for my featured products, although I already updated my featured products for the next 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks of March, I'm doing more like St. Patrick's Day, and then the second 2 weeks of March will be more like March Madness kind of thing. And then I'll also look through and see if there's any opportunities. So things that are selling, that are making some money, but could be doing better. So if the conversion rate's really low, or on the flip side, if the conversion rate is really high and I need to increase the price, those are all things that I tend to look at. So that is the plan for right now, and I'll show you that part. I don't need to show you me clicking on 8,000 different websites because I have 8,000 different streams of income. I apologize for the puffing. Charlie has taken over the reindeer. Okay, well, let me show you how I do this. First of all, if you want to see your store ranking, that's where that is kept. But I'm gonna come down here to dashboard, custom range, and I want 3/1/23, 3/31, 23. Apply. That'll show you how much you made. And then if you click here where it says entire store, then you can see all of your products, starting with the one that made you the most money to the one that made you the least amount of money. So how I like to do this is I look through these, and this tells me what needs to be like my top, my featured products, and also what I need to promote. Now, actually, I didn't realize that this one, it must be, I think I did like the last week of February, first week of March when I looked at this. So I might need to add this one to my list. But basically, that's what I'm gonna look at, and then I'm gonna uncheck all, and then we'll click through the top ones. Husband gave me this computer because he was not using it, and I'm still getting used to it. It's really funny to see that graph move when you like add things. So I'm gonna do like the top 20, and then I'm gonna go to conversions. Yes, okay. So it says for those 20 resources, my conversion rate was at 14%. So then when I click on it, it'll show me the, oh no, oh, that doesn't work, man. Oh, yes it is. I just have to find them. Okay. Where are my selected products? It put it into the order of highest conversion rate. And for some reason, the top one had 200% conversion rate, which is clearly not correct. Okay, so here I see this one, Soulfish Task Card Bundle, has a 32% conversion rate. Yeah, we're writing that down. Like, that can change. Please hold. So I write down my data in this like little notebook. One day I bought like a binder, and one day I'm gonna have like a whole data binder, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So I want like, here, let's just do action items, Soulfish task cards. Now, there are other reasons that you may end up with a really high or really low conversion rate, so do be aware that like the number is not always, everything is not always what it seems. So it might be that it might be something that was new and so you were really promoting it, or it might be, you know, just different things like that. Yeah, and then Treble Clef Kaboom is also like ridiculously high. Now, some of these, like my Treble Clef Kaboom game, I don't feel right raising the price because it just, not, you know, not everything is worth that much more money, but it's at 28%. That is so high. Like that's bonkers bananas. But not everything, you know, I do believe there's a cap. And so as you are looking at data and you're looking at potentially the raising prices of things, do think, is it worth more than that? Because there's some things that frankly, like I would not feel good. I think I just raised the price of this one. Frankly, I'm like, I would not feel good about raising the price higher than what it is for certain things. So just be aware of that as you go through and figure this out. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll figure out, you know, like how much money I've made in each one. And then from there, I like to look through and just kind of figure out, you know, my action steps and where I can move forward from there. But like y'all, 18% conversion rate on a bundle, that's real high. It's real high. So let me play with these numbers for a minute. Hello. I am in my craft room and I am painting. How exciting. I love painting. I have not really been painting much at all. I would say probably the most that I have painted has been in my bullet journal, my February and March spreads. I did use paint for both of those, which is mostly because I got a journal with watercolor paper, so I was like, well, if I have watercolor paper, like I need to use the watercolor paper, right? So I did use some there, but I love painting and definitely do not do it anywhere near as much as I ought to. Do we have another black? Or purple? This one doesn't look very good, but I guess we'll see if it is okay. Maybe it's off. So I did all my data stuff, went through, found my conversion rates were way higher, honestly, than I was expecting. So I went in and adjusted a few prices, which is not my favorite activity ever. So hopefully that turns out okay. Right now I'm just doing a background on 2 square canvases, and then I have right there a paper like taped to that cardboard box because I found a really pretty picture and I wanted to kind of paint it out. This will work. Yeah, so that was really interesting. So I went there and like did that, and I also looked through and saw like what like content has been doing well and where the money is coming in and like all of that good stuff. And so I'm hoping, so that gave me some really good data. There was some products I didn't realize had done so well at this point last year that did, and so that's like really good information to have. This is gonna be way too dark. And so I can use that for promotional, and then also looking at that I was like, oh, you know, there's some products that I might need to make and different things like that, and just kind of giving me more of a vision of what I want to look through. I really have been thinking a lot about like, you know, what might be the best option moving forward and where I should spend my time, because it is so limited. And I told you before, like my whole goal this year is to be focused, and so I, you know, looking at your data gives you all of that information that is really, really helpful to know. So we can talk more about that. I have not like perfected a system, but it has been really helpful to at least start looking. This is way darker than I wanted it to be. So got that done, and then I did a little bit of like putting out some spring flowers and stuff, ate some dinner, and then got to and did this. So it's like 9 o'clock now, so I've got a little bit of time, but just, you know, I'm excited to do something that I enjoy, that I have not been doing much lately, and hopefully making something really pretty. Although, you know, I definitely will not come anywhere near finishing this. So probably what's gonna happen is I'll start this, all 3 of these painting projects, and then they'll sit here for a really long time. The good news is that spring break is this month, or I guess technically spring break is next month. So with spring break and a day off for St. Patrick's Day and all of that, hopefully I'll be able to make it happen. This is my really fancy way to start a painting. I don't love just going in on a blank canvas, so I usually just try to do some sort of color on the back. So for this one I was wanting just like a gray, and so I'll basically let this dry and then I'll paint over top of it. So the background may or may not actually end up being gray by the time I'm done, but we shall see. Yeah, so interesting things. what I want to encourage you to do is to not waste your time, and therefore go look at your data, go figure out, you know, what are your things that are performing, what are things that could be doing better, where are some places that you're maybe losing some money. Those are all really important things to look at. So whether that's conversion rates, what I was expecting to see, honestly, was some of my products that had sold fairly well that had, I was expecting to see some lower conversion rates, like something that was not converting as high as I wanted it to, in which case that would tell me, hey, this is a good one to update the listing and potentially the product because it's not, you know, selling as well as I would have liked. So I'm sure that those were there, but just I only went down like the top 20, and my reaction was, holy cow, how is it converting so high? If you are, by the way, going to change any prices based on conversion rates, I would definitely suggest that you write it down so you have a record of it. So I wrote everything down so that I would remember like what I did and when. And then make sure that you have a good amount of views, because your conversion rates are not very specific if you only have like, you know, 50 views on a product. I would say wait till you get at least a couple hundred before you start taking anything as real data. I'm trying to find somewhere to put this that will not get paint everywhere. But you know, this is a perfect metaphor for how I like to do everything in my life is, oh, I'm gonna go paint for a little bit because I have some time and that sounds like fun. Oh, let me start 3 paintings all at the same time, even though I'm probably not gonna have time to finish them. And I'm sitting here staring at a half-finished painting that is sitting right here. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, I could finish that one. And then I was like, I don't want to. So here we are. I do the same thing with products. That's why I have so many products, because I have way too many ideas and I get too excited about them and I want to do all the things. But to be fully honest, there's a lot of products that I have that I probably don't need, which is a mixture of 2 things. One is that I post products that I use in my classroom, and a lot of times I, you know, need something in my classroom that maybe isn't the highest ticket item, maybe isn't like the most amazing product ever. Maybe it is something that is like just, you know, a quick little thing, but sometimes you just need those. So sometimes I just make them. If I need them, I make them, and if I make them, I'm gonna post them. So that's one thing. Like if I did this full time and I wasn't in the classroom making things for my kiddos, I would definitely not be spending nearly as much time on product creation, because I would be much more choosy about which products I am making. So that's number 1. The second thing about all the product creation is that that's the part that I really like. And you gotta have the thing that you really like, you know, like it can't be all business. You have to enjoy some of it, because I don't want it to be a job. Like, yes, I want to make money, but I don't want it to be like, I gotta go do, you know, with this, that, or the other. And sometimes it does feel like that, but I try to avoid it as much as possible. So, you know what? I have like 900 products. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So that's my perspective on the whole thing. But if you are trying to be smart about it, I would not suggest making 900 products. I would definitely suggest do make, you know, 25 to 50, and then see what's working, see what's selling, and make more of that, especially if you are maybe not in the classroom or something along those lines. My problem is that I have too many ideas and I'm not good at deciding which ones to do, because I just want to do all of them, and that is my life. And it's really funny because when I go and hang out like with my mom, she's exactly the same way. She has ideas for children's books. First of all, she owns her own business. Have we mentioned that? She owns a tax office. Like, it's not like she's, you know, sitting around the house twiddling her thumbs. She just opened her Etsy shop where she sells her quilting patterns because she's been quilting since before I was born. And then she has like ideas for novels. She has ideas for children's books that she wants to make. She has ideas for like classes that she wants to create. Like, it's so funny to hear her talk because I'm like, this is me. But the funny thing is, like, I don't know if it's new to her or not, because she never like did all this stuff before. You know, like, she always quilted and sewed and things like that, and painted, but it was never like in this capacity. So I don't know, it's been interesting. Anyway, so my advice to you is to look at your data, be smart, maybe be more choosy than I am, because I am definitely not choosy. I'm a bit of a whim of like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I have to stick to my plans, right? So now if I have something planned that I need to do, I do that, and then I also do whatever it is that, you know, randomly pops into my head. And then the random things like my kids, we need my 4th and 5th graders, we're about to learn 16th notes, and we have been using we've been doing like marsh projects. They just do this whole composition project, and so I was like, we need like marsh themed composition cards, because clearly this is the answer. And so I went and made, it ended up being Wetlands because I had to, you know, find the right clip art, and that was the best clip art I could find for what I was after. So I found Wetlands, so it's like swamps, marshes, rivers kind of things, and I made marsh animal composition cards because I needed them for my kiddos, and 1st grade's gonna need weather themed ones soon, so I'm gonna make those. And those are the kind of things that, like, they're not gonna make me $1 million, they're not gonna make me a millionaire, but I need them, and so I make them because I need them. And yes, other people do need them, but you know, again, they're like $3 or $4 or however much I end up charging for them. So like, each set is not gonna make me a millionaire. I do plan on bundling them soon, but my problem is I keep thinking like, oh well, I'll bundle it after I make this one, this one, this one, and then I come up with more ideas. So that's where we are. So in light of the last video being exceedingly long, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here, even though I've only been filming for like a little over 24 hours. But I'll stop this here. I'm gonna play around with my paints, and we'll see how much I can get done in the hour or so. And I will probably have a nice early night, because I do enjoy getting to bed before 10 o'clock. So that is my plan here on this, oh my gosh, it's only Tuesday, here on this Tuesday night. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. All right, here's your update. Those two are still blank. This one I am really excited about because I have most of it at least like started. This is the picture that I was inspired by on Pinterest. So here in the middle, the like part that looks really empty right now, is gonna be like a big bouquet of flowers going like all over the place. But I feel like that is really good background, and I'm really excited, and I got a lot of it done, or at least to like a decent okay spot. So I'm excited that I will be able to actually continue, which is a lesson for both me and for you in what happens when you focus. Because if I was doing all of these at the same time, I would not have been able to do that. But the problem is with this kind of stuff, it's like you gotta wait for the paint to dry, which is why I have many, because I can't sit and wait for paint to dry. So I'm like, while that dries, I'm doing this. But I just want to show you an update in case you were curious, and you know,
show it off because I'm excited about the progress that has been made. So hopefully I'll find time to finish it. Maybe even this week. Maybe Saturday. We'll see.